Hi, my name is Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time finding the channel, welcome. I'm happy you found me. And if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. Today, I want to talk about being on autopilot. I understand and have a great deal of respect when it comes to pilots. And sometimes they are bringing us, most of the time, they are taking us from one destination and dropping us off at another. And I am sure that there are times when they are able to use autopilot. And that basically just refers to their system, such as what they're in, flying the aircraft. It basically operates automatically without a constant human control, right? It keeps the airplane in a predefined course, making adjustments as needed based on, I'm assuming, preset instructions of some sort. Now, I'm not privy to everything in autopilot, but one thing I do understand is that even when I'm driving my car, I'm on cruise control, and it basically cruises, and it also helps you regulate your gas and so on and so forth. But autopilot is just a little bit different, in my opinion. In life, I think autopilot can symbolize periods where we operate in sheer habit, routine, or maybe even unconscious behavior, so to speak, rather than intentional decision making. And basically, I think I know I've been on autopilot a lot, and I'm quite sure you've probably been on autopilot. You probably do things every day that is on autopilot, like get up, shower, brush your teeth, and so on, and get your coffee, whatever. That was me on autopilot for a long time. Couldn't start my day without that shower and that coffee. Those two things, shower, coffee, brushing my teeth, those three things worked in tandem. I had to have them and still have to have them. So the only difference is now I'm drinking decaf. But anyway, you get the point, right? So unconscious behavior and our patterns, just like the airplane on autopilot, it pretty much follows a pre-programmed route. With us, we follow that routine or habit, so to speak. What habits or routines are you on autopilot? So I want you to really think about that, because one of the reasons why I say this is we're coming to the end of the year. And if we have habits, if we have things that are on autopilot, like our routines that don't serve us, really are not making us stretch ourselves or pushing ourselves forward, then we need to sit back and reflect. Is this going to serve me for the year to come? In 2025, am I going to be at optimal performance? So we want to make sure that we're performing at a higher level than we were this year, right? So I want you to think about that. I want you to think of what in your life are you are on autopilot. Do you go to work the same way, the same schedule, the same time? Is it predictable? Are you on autopilot? We all do things, and I know we are creatures of habits, but sometimes our habits are such on autopilot that they're really not serving us at all. And it becomes comfortable. It becomes predictable. And that's something, when we get that comfortable and we get that predictable, sometimes it be on autopilot, and we're just going through life aimlessly. And if you think about it, autopilot or your habit, is it a good one? Now, if it's a good one and you got success going and it's autopilot, keep that. But if it's not, then it's time to change. If what you're doing is on autopilot and it's not serving you, hey, get rid of it before the new year comes. That's really what I'm saying. And when we are on autopilot, I notice that, at least for me, I can only speak for me. When I am on autopilot, I'm not really paying attention. I'm not monitoring what I'm really doing. It leads me drifting off sometimes, of course, in life. And sometimes it happens. And I know that we all go through something that's in autopilot on our lives. It doesn't matter what it is, but you want to make sure if it's on autopilot and you don't know it, that's even worse. So, I mean, we get in our car every day and we get up and we go in our car. Sometimes we drive the same way, the same time, and there is no deviation whatsoever. And I get it. Sometimes it's the best route to get to work or wherever we're going, and that's the best and the fastest way to go. But sometimes we do need to switch things up and not be so predictable. Think about this. And the reason why I say predictability sometimes is good and sometimes it isn't. You're in a relationship and you're doing the same stuff over and over and over with all 100% predictability, and you have no way to alter that, and you're not even thinking about it. And that's how relationships get stale. Because you got to have a little spice in there. You got to switch things up. You got to change. And before you know it, your relationship is in dire straits. I'm just saying, I want you to take a look at what's happening now in your life and what's happening in your relationships. And that means friends, that means family, that means everything. So let's try to spice it up. Let's try to reinvent living. I mean, because that's what it's all about. We're not here to live on autopilot, if you think about it. So you want to basically switch from autopilot into manual control. Yeah, why not? Because it only makes life better. I mean, occasionally take control from autopilot during turbulence, right? If you are on autopilot in your life in every aspect and things are just, this every day, this is what I do, and there's nothing that spices up, no excitement, no hint of danger, nothing. Come on, you got to switch that up. You got to switch it up. Being on autopilot is also, well, I'll say this, let me rephrase that. Being off of autopilot is also about being mindful about what you're doing, about how you're doing it, and everything in every aspect of your life. So you definitely want to make sure you're not in autopilot. So be mindful, be intentional. And that's basically how you can go without being on and do everything intentionally. That means that you don't have to sit there and every day you get up, you take a shower. All that's good. That's all great. That's intentional too. I mean, you got to get up in the morning, take that shower, you brush your teeth, and you get whatever, orange juice, your coffee, whatever rocks your boat. That is all intentional and it's autopilot. That's good. You're good to go. But from the minute you leave that door, I say go ahead and be mindful. Be in manual. So think about that. And that's really what I wanted to have you think about today is being intentional and not being on autopilot. So you want to recognize those things when you actually go through them. You can even ask yourself, am I actively choosing my actions or just going through the motions? That's a powerful question because it gets you to really think about what you're doing and how you're doing it. When was the last time I made a meaningful, let me put it that way, decision for myself? Now, a lot of people, that's every day. And that's a lot of times in a day. Do I feel joy? Do I feel passion? Do I get purpose in my daily life? Now, I don't know about you, but you gotta have some type of passion and you need to have purpose daily, not yearly, just daily. You need some type of purpose because that's going to drive you. That's going to get you going. That's going to make the magic happen. That's all I can say. It's going to make the magic happen. And you know something? I got to tell you, I I like this podcast. I love this podcast. It's intentional for me because I'm thinking about what I want to say and I'm saying, okay, well, here's an idea that I have. And I know that I've gone through some things and I know other people have probably gone through the same thing. But this is something that you can ask yourself. Do I feel joy? Do I feel passion? Do I live with purpose every day? Wow, that's a powerful question. Am I questioning my beliefs, my goals, my assumptions regularly? And not all of us do this. I mean, when's the last time you questioned your beliefs? And when was the last time you even questioned your goals? Everybody is so hell-bent on let's set a goal, let's set a goal, let's set a goal. But when was the last time you questioned your goals or even your assumptions? I think we should do that on a regular basis. Sticking to old patterns without questioning them. I mean, that sounds like we're all on autopilot, right? And then here's another question. Are my habits aligned with my values and goals? When's the last time you asked yourself that? Are my habits aligned with my value and goals? And you do know that unchecked habits may take you off course wherever you are going or wherever you want to go or wherever your destination is in the future. How about this? Do I feel like I'm living for myself or for others' expectations? That's deep. That is real deep, especially for young people, because, as parents, we want the best for them. And sometimes, we may not agree with an avenue that they're traveling. And then sometimes as kids, we want to please our parents and the people around us who we trust, know, and love. We do things that are not aligned with our true desires, with our true path, with our true alignment of our purpose in life. So, do you feel, or you can ask yourself, do I feel I'm living for others' expectations? I got one more question before I go. Ask yourself this. What part of my life feels repetitive or stagnant? Pinpoint those areas. Work, relationship, self-care. Where have you fallen into those patterns without thought? Those are the patterns that we want to get you off of autopilot and start thinking intentionally. Well, that's it for today. And if you would like to get some steps on how to interrupt autopilot and reclaim control, you can do that by going to the show notes and on YouTube, and you can copy and paste those notes. And it also has questions, basically how you can change. What do I need to do to achieve or experience the next month or year in my life, and so on and so forth. So it does have some questions in the show notes. If you would like to go ahead and grab those and fill them out yourself, feel free to do that. And hopefully this will steer you in the right direction to where you need to be and get off of autopilot. My name is Dave. You're listening to the last podcast, and I really appreciate you listening. Do me a favor and go ahead and subscribe. Like this video right now and go ahead, subscribe. I will start leaving you some more information to help you along the way of making a transformational change within your own lives. I thank you so much for listening. Be blessed. Have a great day. Bye-bye.